So this is my Leo Brown. They're both takes on 50 Strats. And I'm going to cry when either one of them sells or sell, because I've played these guys a lot. I've gigged with this one a lot, and oh man, this is the other one. Jason Gospel said that one and this one he would buy if he had the money. And again, it's my format, you know, all shielded with copper foil, volume, master volume, master tone, blender, 5-way switch. Now, this 57 Strat, these again are Benson pickups. He's my favorite winder guy, although I've got a couple guys, actually there's other guys that are as good, I think. Young guys, the pickups are inexpensive. You don't have to pay $250 for a set of Lindy Fralins. I put Lindy Fralins up against Bensons. I actually prefer the Bensons, okay? Bensons are like $110. You can buy them for $110 or so online. And they are every bit as good as a $250 set of Lindy Fralins, according to Rod Freeman here of Mongrel Guitars. And that's my own opinion. And there's probably a lot of people that will disagree with me, but you can include Lindy Fralin and Seymour Duncan and Jason Lawler and these guys that are just asking exorbitant prices for their pickups, you know. And anyway, this has a set of Benson pickups on it. The neck and the middle are Alnico 5s, running about 6.2K and about 6.3, and that's just slightly hotter than stock. Kind of comparable to around 58. I've done studies on Fender pickups, and these old guys back in the day, they got together and they would check the capacitance on Fender pickups, and they've in this old electronic book I've got, you know, it's got all the average winds on all the Fender pickups from Strats from 54 up to 1970, and you can see that in the start they were very low wind pickups, kind of more like probably this one, and peaking at about 58, about the Buddy Holly era, 57, 58. They peaked out where they were running over 6K, is some of them. And again, the pickups then were hand wound by Abigail Ibarra and other people in the Fender factory, again, of Mexican descent. You know, these people are great people that could put together stuff, so don't put down Mexican guitars or any of that stuff. Don't be racist, okay? But Abigail Ibarra wound these pickups. So a lot of times they were different. And Seymour Duncan and those guys kind of let the cat out of the bag, and when they started tearing these pickups apart and finding out why they sounded so good. And the secret was a thing called scatter winding, is what John Benson does. And these are Brandon wound pickups by a guy, Jared Brandon, of the Midwest, somewhere in the Midwest. He's winding great pickups, but his prices are going way up. Or any of these people, the cat got out of the bag that did scatter winding. When Fender sold out to CBS, they got pickup winding machines, and that pickup winding machine wanted to be efficient, so it would just feed the wire in right stacked as close together as they could, you know. And so, you know, it was like the wire was just one on top of the other, one right next to the other. They sounded kind of sterile, you know, they didn't sound as good as these old pickups. That's why Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton would buy a bunch of Strats and go through them and try and find these certain pickups that had a different mojo. And these are the old pickups from the 50s and early 60s that were scatterbound. In other words, a human was feeding the wire in. And so they couldn't do it like a machine, you know, they'd overlap a lot. And the grip on the wire, sometimes it'd be loose and it would make the wire go in kind of loose, and sometimes they'd get stressed out, you know, and tighten it down and the wire would go tight. And so Seymour and the guys all figured this stuff out, and so let the cat out of the bag. That was the secret. And, you know, it kind of makes sense. I mean, look at the telephone poles. I mean, did they put the wires close together? Why did they space them out? Anyway, I talked to this real electronics guy, and he said there's a name for it. It's some kind of like unpronounceable word, capacitance or something. that happens. And so the scatterwound pickups are quieter. They're not as susceptible to 60 cycle hum. They sound better, and every one sounds a little different. But what these young guys are doing now is they're getting their own recipe of when to tighten up, when to loosen up, how many wraps to put on, when to scatter it, how to scatter it. And it's just a million. I mean, when you're doing 8,000 winds, there's a lot of room to be creative in there. And that's what these young guys are doing. That's why these, I've got pickups. Let's see. Well, there's another guy, New York here, the sleeper, a guy, Prima Pickups. His name's Mike Meyer. Yeah, Mike Meyer. Isn't he famous? Well, no, this is a pickup guy. He just sold a set to Dave Murray of Iron Maiden, and that's a set of his pickups. He's another young guy that's just doing incredible stuff with pickups. I've got a guy named Alexander Pribora in Russia, in Moscow, and he's winding some insane pickups that I think the last 3 guitars I've sold in Portland, pretty high-end guitars, had his pickups in it. The guy's, I think he's as good as Benson. There's another guy in Croatia that's doing Q pickups. So I'm putting a plug in for all these young guys who are selling pickups at a decent price and not trying to, buy a fleet of Mercedes or buy a Swiss Chateau or something like some of these guys are doing in the United States. Anyway, this is the Leo 57, super fat neck, fat frets. I believe what Yngwie said, that most of your tone comes out of your neck. And you can tell that. Get your guitar feeding back. Just tap on that neck. It just explodes. Tap on the body, not much. So these necks are really important. So a big fat neck gives you a really different tone, a big fat tone. And it's really cool. That's why Yngwie uses the big oversized headstock, because he wants more wood. Well, the way Mongrel does it is these big fat necks, which kind of threw me at first when I first played one, but after a while, you really get used to it. It supports the back of your hand. It slows down your fatigue when you're playing. You're not always having to hold out, with the gap. Really nice. So both of these have the fat necks. And again, they come with a Mongrel guarantee, and this is just pretty much as close as you're going to get to a 50s Fender Strat that's been sitting around in a closet mostly, because it's a very light relic job. You got one chunk out of here and a little buckle rash that I think I probably put on. But very incredible guitar. And again, the necks look old, the guitar looks old, it's brand new. All the components are brand new and guaranteed.